All right, I'm going to go ahead and call the meeting to order. This is the regularly scheduled July 10th, 2025 Washington County Planning Board meeting. We'll start with roll call, please.
Anthony McNutt. Jay Piercy.
Here.
Joe Maynard. Here. Lauren Shackelford.
Here.
Robert Daughtry. Chantel Pereira. Marla Pearson.
Okay, so we do have four here. We do have a quorum. We'll get through this, and I'll address that when we start talking about the agenda. First item tonight is the approval of the minutes from our June 5th, 2025 meeting. Those were circulated earlier. Any revisions, corrections, or additions that need to be made to the minutes from our previous meeting?
No, sir, as presented.
If not, I'll entertain a motion for approval.
Make a motion to approve.
Got a motion? And a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, moving on to tonight's agenda. We have conditional use permits 2, Woolsey Woods CUP and AKH Property LLC CUP. I would like to let the applicants know conditional use permits take 4 affirmative votes for approval. We are short 3 planning board members here tonight. So if you are one of the conditional use permit applicants, if you have a concern of only having 4 of us here to vote, you do have the option to table that till the next month's meeting. But that will be your call, and I'll let you address that as we go forward. So on top of those, we have several other single-family residential county land development hearings, replat of 1 and 2 Cody Watson, replat of 7A Country View subdivision, replat of 8A Country View subdivision, Garcina Minor subdivision, replat of 5B and C Magnolia Acres subdivision, replat of lots 9 and 10 War Eagle Cove subdivision, and then we do have 1 preliminary large-scale development for Pleasure Heights Church. Any changes to the agenda as stated?
No, sir, as presented.
I'll entertain a motion for approval of that.
Make a motion to approve the agenda as presented.
I'll second that.
We got a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, we'll start with Woolsey Woods CUP. Is the applicant here for that one? You want to hear it tonight? You good with this proceeding? Yeah, let her in. Okay, we'll start with the staff report on this one, please.
Vicinity map. Site map. Neighbor map. The applicant is requesting a conditional use permit to operate a custom lumber manufacturing facility. The subject property is currently 31.93 acres. A 6.74 acre property split will occur after the CUP approval, with the project occupying approximately 4.7 acres. Currently, the subject property is under contract. The finalization of sale and property ownership transfer is expected after the approval and ratification of the CUP project. The facility will use existing concrete pads from former poultry houses for new construction, resulting in about 30,500 square feet of impervious surfaces, less than the previous 32,500 square feet. This CUP request is to allow the project to be constructed across 3 phases. If approved, each phase of the project will be required to proceed through the full large-scale development approval process. To date, planning staff has not received any complaints regarding this project.
Okay. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I interrupted you. I apologize.
These are the 3 phases of the project, and then the production hours will vary due to weather and market conditions, while customer hours are expected to be from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday, and 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. on Saturdays, with 4 to 5 employees each operating day. A detention pond and a dry hydrant will be engineered during the LSD phase to satisfy the West Fork Rural Fire Department safety requirements.
Okay, thank you. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. Any questions of staff from board members? Yes, sir.
Sam, could you talk a little bit about this dry hydrant and how that works?
Yeah, normally like the way it's been asked by the fire department, because they don't have the capacity to bring a 50,000 or more like tank, so they requested like this to be available. So like the dry hydrant basically pulls from the pond that's going to be filled, and we're going to talk about like when he applies for the large scale, we're going to discuss like the type of lining, the capacity, the size, and all of this. But it's basically connected to that pond. It could be like pulls from there, and whenever it needs, it will cycle it. So It's just basically another way to say like, it's a cool like old-fashioned pump, just gonna grab from, yeah, it's gonna grab from like that like pond. Yes, sir.
Okay, any other questions of board members of staff? Okay, seeing none, I'll have the applicant come up, introduce yourself to us. You'll have to punch the button, get the little red light to come on, sir.
There's an arrow, yeah.
There you go.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
All right. My name is Roy Pilgrim. I'm a co-owner of Pilgrim Logging LLC, and I'm representing Woolsey Wood project this evening. I think Sam covered most of the basics. One thing I would like to add about the retention pond for our fire safety protection there is that it will also be located on immediately adjacent to a hard surface road that will support 75,000 pounds of weight in all weather. So should be a well-engineered asset there. Other than that, I think Sam covered most of the basics. I would just like to add on another note that I'm truly excited about this project, what this project could bring to our community. As a logger and a person that is deeply involved in land use and conservation, I can tell you that it's really important to have access to specialty markets for responsibly harvested timber. When we can add value to our natural resources right here locally, it gives us a greater ability to implement best management practices and sound stewardship while also paying forest landowners fairly for what their timber is worth. I am hopeful that this business will add a few well-paid and fulfilling careers into the local economy and supply a need for high-quality local wood products right here in Northwest Arkansas and beyond. I appreciate your time and consideration this evening, and I'm hopeful that I will have the opportunity to better serve this community. Thank you.
Got two questions for you.
Yes, sir.
You have some sort of idea on the timeline of the phases, how quickly the different phases will come before us?
Right. I think that phase one is going to be about 12 to 18 months, something like that.
Okay.
We are closing on the property on July 24th, so any work will be after that. As you may have noticed in the application, the current state of the property is several older turkey houses that are in various states of disrepair. So the first thing is just gonna be getting all that cleaned up and making the property beautiful. And then, but yeah, phase one, I think about a year to a year and a half. And then phase 2 and 3 are gonna really depend on the fiscal success of phase 1. So it's hard for me to predict exactly then. I would say if everything goes good with phase 1, I'm thinking 5 years would
Okay,
would cover
that's
it.
perfectly fair. I was just more curious than anything. The
Yeah.
only other question I had is the planning conditions up for approval. Have you read those? Are you okay with all the proposed conditions on
Yes,
this?
sir. Yeah,
Okay.
we've been over that and I've talked back and forth with
Yeah,
Sam and
he's
Savannah.
been one, him and like the following project, they were like the honest to Ben, like model applicants. We've never had an issue with anything we've asked.
These
All right.
folks have been really good to work with, for sure.
Any other
Thank you.
questions of the applicant from other board members?
And the surveying, I guess like surveying for the property already started this week, I believe so.
Yes, so Tim West right here with Atlas is doing our surveying and our lot split, and they're right in the middle of all that.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Anybody from the public like to make public comment on this? If you would, please come and state your name and address for the record.
My name is Alan Kitterman, 13166 Hickory Creek Road, Lowell, Arkansas, 72745. I'm representing the Jerry and Ruth Kitterman Trust. My brother Joe and I are the co-owners and co-trustees of the trust. We own the property immediately adjacent to the north side of the subject area. Just a couple things I'd like to point out on the map before I get started. If you go to the neighbor map and also to the summary map, on the summary map, directly north of the line, there's a pond, which the fact that he's mentioning a retention pond there, I'd want to make sure to find out where that is. I would ask the commission to be careful to protect our pond that is used for livestock stuff. Right now, our property is currently being used for recreation, and we also let a person that we've known through our lives graze it and bale the hay off of it, keep it cut down. Also on the site map, the neighbor map, if you look to the very northeast corner of where the circle is, that was a homestead. There is electricity down there. There's a fairly good secure storage building. There's a septic field down there, and there is a well there. We vacated that. My parents did whenever the turkey houses were built within about 50 yards of that home, make it uninhabitable at the time. So Some things I'd ask the commission to keep in mind. Basically, whenever I look at this, I can't say I'm totally against it because my choices are turkey houses that are dilapidated, immediately on our border, or noisy neighbors who may be better neighbors, So, it's really kind of hard. But some things I'd ask you to look at to protect our interests. Number one is to protect our pond, make sure that it's in good shape. Protect the homestead. Just because someone lives down there doesn't mean that we haven't had thoughts of going back down there or building a tiny home, or we have two sons in their 20s that, we thought about making something that they could use there, and we intend on cleaning that up. But again, those turkey houses in the state they are, with debris blowing over every time there's a south wind, makes it, you don't want to invest in it until we figure out what's going to happen to turkey houses. He talks about there being 6 to 8 parking spaces for employees. I'd want to make sure that there's no heavy equipment parking, or that the heavy equipment parking is limited there from their existing logging business. Again, I mentioned the noise. We lost the ability to have quiet enjoyment of our property due to the smell that was there, several years ago, and then the dilapidated and lack of care on the turkey houses. Now we're talking about noise, and I know that all these things are soft things, but they do affect our enjoyment of the property and what we'd like to do with it. I'd like to make sure that the times be addressed, operating times also. My sons do like to hunt down there. We do like to go down there, and again, the quiet enjoyment of our property. At least have some time to be, reasonable times to be able to do that. That retaining pond does concern me. I hadn't heard of that, really got into that before. I'd ask that there be considerable efforts made to protect our property from any effects of that retaining pond, and make sure that the runoff is taken care of. And then I know that y'all's lane does include the EPA, and there are permits there, but we will have a few things to say on that in order to protect our interest also.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Kitterman. I will address the hours of operation are set as part of this. We are looking at the conditional use permit tonight. The large-scale development process will be where more of your specific concerns come into play. Okay. You will get public notice on that, and you will have an opportunity to speak specifically to those when we do the large-scale development side of it as well.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate you. All right, anybody else from the public like to address this? If you would, please come and state your name and address for the record.
Hey, Daniel Haygood, 2853 West Verona Lane here in Fayetteville. I'm a biologist. I work in the Northwest Fayetteville area, and I just wanted to express my support for Roy's project, and just from my professional experience, the need for something like what he's trying to do. As a biologist, I'm working with landowners and game and fish and different government agencies, NRCS and all that have programs to try and promote things like timber stand improvement. So much of the forest around here is overcrowded, and from overall ecological health of the forest, it needs thinning, like what Roy is talking about. So there's programs in place to help landowners do that, and you can go through the whole application, you can get financial assistance to even do it, and the limiting factor is finding a logger that wants to come out and do the work on smaller, I'd say smaller, anything below 40 acres, or a project where you want to keep your large white oaks and stuff like that for wildlife management. And you just can't get loggers to come out and who want to do that because of the profit margin is so small. And, you're having to ship things out of the area, kind of going against keeping things local and all that. And I think that's what Roy is really filling that need in the area. From my point of view, from a biological and forest health point of view, I think it would be a really great thing to have that resource here for the community, and I think it fits right in with Northwest Arkansas of providing local jobs and keeping things local and local products. I've worked with Roy on a few projects, and I've seen his job sites, and I know he's not just saying those things, that he's very conservation minded. From a biologist point of view, working with the logger, he's goes way above and beyond as far as putting in roads and cleaning up job sites and really saving and preserving resources, for the next generation. So I think that kind of, from my point of view, that it would be a great resource to have that in our area, so.
Okay, thank you for your input. We appreciate it.
Yeah.
Anybody else from the public like to address this item? If you would, please come and state your name and address for the record.
Hi, my name's Josh Hart. My address is 10,001 Smoky Lane, Fayetteville, Arkansas. And I am just here to support in a couple of ways, mostly representing as a customer. I own natural state tree houses, and we've had a business relationship with Roy for quite a while, several years off and on. And basically, the core of our business is as a sustainable builder. So we do public playgrounds, we do school playgrounds, we do public parks. We're doing actually quite a few parks here in the city of Fayetteville this year. And our goal is basically to balance sustainably sourced materials with economic interests. And so we're in kind of a unique position of being, a business owner, also an environmentally minded company, tree hugger supporting a logger. And really our dream was to find a company like Pilgrim Logging. I mean, they have just been unbelievable to work with, providing products that we truly can't buy anywhere else. And, as a resident, as a long time, I've lived here my whole life, what is being said about the forest health and about the attention that they spend on really taking care of the woods is so true. We've seen that in evidence. And, as y'all know, we have a very long history of the logging industry in Arkansas, and it can be done well or it can be done poorly. And this is kind of the very best version of logging that I've ever seen. The worst version, I think, is large-scale things, cut in Arkansas, shipped out of state, sold to Lowe's. Lowe's then turns around and sells it back to the residents of Arkansas. That just seems like a silly process. So I have nothing but good things to say about Roy. So kind of as a character witness, but also as a customer, we're extremely excited about the partnership that we already have, getting to be larger and being able to serve all of these things from, we're actually talking about, sustainable structures for Fayetteville's homeless problem. We're talking about public parks, and then we're talking about tree houses, which is kind of the core of our business. So we just see Pilgrim as a good partner and somebody that can help us in so many ways. So I really hope that all of this goes well, because we're excited.
Appreciate it, Mr. Hart. Thanks for your input. All right, anybody else in the public like to address this item? If you would, please, sir, state your name and address for the record.
Okay, my name is Josh Brown, live on Highway 45 East. It used to be Route 1, now it's Mission Street. Whole time I've been there, my address has changed 6 times, but I've never moved. Anyway, so Roy and Reyes are my boys, and it seems like the pros and cons of the proposal have been pretty well, they're pretty well out there. But I would just like to say that I firmly believe this project is good for the neighborhood, well, their neighborhood, and the community at large, my neighborhood. And these boys are dedicated and hardworking and committed, and most of their endeavors involve thinking beyond just themselves. And this is one of them. And I call them boys, they're men, but they'll always be my kids. And one other aspect of the project is a couple of the younger brothers are committed to helping the world move away from fossil fuel. So they have battery-powered trucks, lawnmowers, tractor, et cetera. And they'll be involved in this, in deliveries and landscaping and mowing of the premises and whatnot. So, yeah, that's about it. Except, and they're well aware of the problems with batteries, so they're always looking and keeping up with the effort for better batteries. Anyway, but maybe I should have kept my granddaddy's buggy. I don't know. Maybe we'll get back to that. And when I told someone I was going to come give my little spiel, they said, maybe you should consult AI to help you. And you all can probably tell that I didn't. But all my life, AI meant artificial insemination. And now it means something else. But I see a little similarity between the old AI and the new AI. Thanks for your time.
Thank you, sir.
and trouble.
Appreciate your input. All right, anybody else like to make public comment on this item? Seeing none, I'll close it and bring it back to the board for action.
First thing, I'd like to have a card from Mr. Pilgrim, if you got one, before you go. And I would recommend approval of the Woolsey Wood CUP.
We got a motion, is there a second?
I'll second that.
We got a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you, appreciate it very much. All right, moving on. The next item is in the Farmington Planning Area, AKH Property CUP. I'll ask the applicant the same thing. There's 4 here. Do we want to proceed with this? Yes. Okay, let's move on to the staff report then, please.
Vicinity map, site map, neighbor notification map. The applicant is requesting a conditional use permit approval to bring the property into compliance to continue operating a commercial business and to add an additional office building. While initially unaware that a CUP was required, the applicant is now actively participating in the permitting process to ensure full adherence to all applicable county regulations. The 7.02 acre property in the Farmington Planning Area has a history of agricultural, educational, and commercial use, including its original role as a large dairy farm in the 1990s. Since acquiring the property in July 2021, AKH Property LLC has made extensive improvements to revitalize and restore functionality to the existing structures. These include major cleanup efforts, infrastructure upgrades, building renovations, drainage improvements, and accessibility enhancements. Currently, the site employs 23 full-time office staff and 4 warehouse employees, with standard working hours from 7 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. Monday through Friday. The site includes a 42 by 200 office building, a 95 by 240 warehouse, a 48 by 80 storage building, a 30 by 70 flex/storage building, a regularly serviced trash dumpster, and a designated recycling trailer. There are 17 concrete parking spaces to the west of the office, which 2 of the parking spaces are ADA compliant, 8 gravel parking spaces to the south of the office building, and various gravel parking areas around the property for extra parking. The proposed 40 by 80 new structure will serve as an additional office space for 10 full-time employees. The building will be single-story on a concrete slab with the exterior matching the current buildings on the property and will have gravel parking to the east side. The current septic system is designed for 40 employees, which will be sufficient to accommodate the proposed new office space and the additional full-time employees. The development will have a total of 94 gravel parking spaces, which 3 will be ADA accessible. To date, planning staff has not received any complaints.
Is there any questions of board members to staff? Okay, is the applicant or applicant's representative here? If you would, please introduce yourself, name, address, and tell us a little bit about the business project.
All right, Dale Hill, address is 1388 Goose Creek Road, 13882 Goose Creek Road, Fayetteville, Arkansas. This business, we bought something that was ran down and fixed it up, basically combined our warehouse and office in one location. We had our office for years in Farmington, just our office, and then had kind of what was our shop or mechanic just kind of in town behind the office, sort of. So we was able to purchase this and combine it all and bring it into to one property, and then we was able to expand and lease some of this space that we didn't use.
Okay. All right. Appreciate your efforts to bring it into compliance through the process. Any questions of the applicant from board members? Okay.
You gonna run the electrical business there?
Yeah.
From there? Yeah.
Yep.
Great business.
Yep, thank you.
Love it.
Thank you.
All right. Appreciate it. Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Is there anybody in the public that would like to make public comment on this? Okay. Seeing none, I'll close public comment and bring it back to the board.
I'm gonna recommend approval of that CUP for the ACH or AKC.
CUP for AKH.
Okay.
EIEIO. All right, we got a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Again, thank you for your working through this to get it back in compliance. We really appreciate that. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you, sir. All right, moving on to land development hearings. First we have is in the county replat of Lot 1 and 2, Cody's Watson subdivision. We'll start with staff report, please.
Vicinity map, site map, neighbor map. The applicant is requesting a subdivision replat to adjust property lines between Lot 1 and 2 within Cody Watson subdivision. Currently, the acreage for both lots is 3.43 acres. Lot 1 is 2.48 acres, and Lot 2 is 0.95. After the lot line adjustment, tract 1 would be 2.43, and Lot 2 would be 1 acre. To date, planning staff has not received any complaints.
So Sam, is this just another one bringing it into compliance? Is there? Okay,
This one
I'll
here.
ask the applicant then.
Yeah.
All right, any questions of the staff from board members? Okay, if not, is the applicant or applicant's representative here? If you would, please introduce yourself, name, address for the record, sir.
Richard Thibodeau, 19980 Natural Walk Road, Springdale.
Thank you. So my question, is this bringing it into compliance so it's 1 acre? Is there cell pinning? Is this, what's the motivation for the adjustment?
Just to straighten that line up between us is all it amounts to.
Okay?
It's a lot line adjustment within a subdivision, so that's the whole
That's
deal.
why it's, okay. All right, I always ask that question. All right, any questions of the applicant from board members? Okay, thank you, sir. Is there anybody from the public that would like to address this item? Seeing none, I'll close it and bring it back to the board.
Make a motion to approve the replat of lots 1 and 2, Cody Watson subdivision as presented.
Got a motion,
Second.
second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. Okay, next is the replat of Lot 7A Country View Subdivision Phase 1, Tawny Town Planning Area. We'll start with the staff report.
Vicinity map, site map, neighbor map. The applicant is requesting a replat of Lot 7A within Country View Subdivision Phase 1. Lot 7A is currently 5.65 acres. After the proposed replat, new Lot 7AA would be 3.65 acres, and new lots 9 and 10 would both be 1 acre. To date, planning staff has not received any complaints.
Okay, and there's basically 2 items here for the same.
Yes,
Same
it's like
staff,
adjacent, yeah,
same
same
staff
thing.
report for that, okay. If board's okay with that, we'll hear these concurrently as one.
Absolutely.
One call. Y'all
Yep.
okay? All right, is the applicant or applicant's representative here?
Do you wanna move forward with the next one? as
Yeah,
well?
yeah, that's what I was
Yeah,
gonna say.
yeah,
If there's
let's
another
go.
staff report, let's go ahead and do it.
Yes,
And then we'll
let's
look
do
at them
that.
both concurrently.
Yep.
Thank you.
Yes.
Vicinity map, site map, neighbor map. The applicant is requesting a replat of Lot 8A within Country View Subdivision Phase 1. Lot 8A is currently 4.11 acres. After the proposed replat, new Lot 8AA would be 3.11 acres, and new Lot 11 would be 1 acre. We have not received any complaints.
Okay, thank you. Now, if you would, it's the applicant. Yeah, that's great.
Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. My name is Rhonda Scott, and I actually live at 18692 Harmon Road,
Okay.
the first proposal. I represent Denver Holdings LLC, and we're just requesting to split off 3 one-acre lots off of 2 parcels in a replat for the country use subdivision.
Okay, thank you. Question of board for the applicant. Okay, thank you, appreciate it.
Thank you.
Is there anybody in, I'm sorry.
No, it's a lot split within a subdivision. That's,
Yeah. I'm quit asking why we don't do these administratively anymore. I won't ask. All right, is there anybody in the public that would like to address these? Okay, I guess I did have one question, you don't have to walk back up here. Is there an HOA, POA associated with this? Thank you, ma'am. For the record, no HOA, POA, it was rescinded, so that's something we typically ask. All right, board, I'm looking at these congruently, so I'll entertain a motion for approval of both at once, if you guys are okay with that.
I make a motion that we approve both.
Okay.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second for approval of both congruent items. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. Okay, so moving on, the next, we will go back to the county Garcia minor subdivision and start with the staff report, please.
Vicinity map, site map, neighbor map. The applicant is requesting a minor subdivision to split the parent tract into 2 tracts. Currently, the parent tract is 4.44 acres. After the proposed split, tract A would be 2.44 acres and tract B would be 2 acres. No complaints received.
Okay, thank you. Questions of board for staff? We're all looking at the same thing. I thought we can ask the applicant. All right, is the applicant or applicant's representative here?
Tim West with Atlas Professional Land Surveying, 425 North Centennial Avenue, West Fork. I'm here tonight to represent Mr. Garcia in the Garcia minor sub. His original tract contains 4.44 acres, and he's proposing a 2.04 acre tract, which does contain an existing house, and a 2.4 acre tract, which is vacant.
Okay, and we typically ask you this because we have small copies. I assume the shaded gray area on tract 1 is a utility and access easement, is that correct?
That is correct, a 30-foot wide
30
access and utility easement.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, and then a question of staff, I guess, it looks like there's a shed and a building pretty close to that easement. There's no setback issues there?
no, it's away from the setback. Yeah,
Okay.
we made sure, yes, sir.
Okay, any other questions of the applicant from board members?
And actually, the survey has been reconfigured based on the health department request, correct?
Correct,
Yeah.
yes.
Okay, appreciate it, sir, thank you.
Thank you.
I'll open it up to the public if there's anybody that would like to make public comment on this item. Seeing none, I'll close it and bring it back to the board.
I'm recommending approval of the Garcia minor subdivision.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. All right, moving on. Also in the county, replat of lots 5B and C, Magnolia Acres subdivision. Start with staff report, please.
Vicinity map, site map, neighbor map. The applicant is requesting a subdivision replat to adjust property lines between Lot 5B and 5C within the Magnolia Acres subdivision Phase 1. Currently, Lot 5B is 2.77 acres and Lot 5C is 5.63 acres. After the lot line adjustment, Lot 5B would be 5.64 acres as new Lot F, and Lot 5C would be 2.76 acres as new Lot 5E. To date, planning staff has not received any complaints.
Okay, thank you. Questions of staff by board? Okay, applicant or applicant's representative?
Yes, I'm Alan Reed here representing the Fithians. My address is 118 South College Avenue, Fayetteville, Arkansas. And I think the staff has pretty much spelled it out. This is a father and a son, and the father's just trying to give some of his property add it to his son's existing lot. So we just want to bring through the replat process and do everything by the numbers.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate that,
I'll
Mr.
have to
Reed.
answer any questions.
Any questions of the applicant from board members? Okay. Open it up to public. Is there anybody that would like to make public comment on this item? Okay, seeing none, I'll close public comment and bring it back to the board.
A motion to approve.
We have a motion for approval.
Second.
And a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, item H, also in the county, replat of lots 9 and 10, War Eagle Cove subdivision, Phase 4. Staff report, please.
Vicinity map, site map, neighbor notification map. The applicant is requesting a subdivision replat to do a property line adjustment within War Eagle Cove subdivision Phase 4. Currently, Lot 9 is 2.36 acres and Lot 10 is 1.21 acres. After the proposed property line adjustment, Lot 9A would be 1.62 acres and Lot 10A would be 1.96 acres. No complaints have been received.
Okay, thank you. Questions of staff by board? Okay, then I'll ask the applicant, applicant's representative.
Alan Reed, 118 South College, Fayetteville, representing Colby Hathaway. Again, a replat of two existing lots. Mr. Hathaway owns both the lots. And as this is right now, Lot 9 has the lake frontage. Lot 10 is back off up on the hill, and I think he would like to reconfigure the lots so that each one has the lake, not only lake frontage, but that nobody can build in his line of sight, so he still has a nice view of the lake.
Ingress, egress isn't affected at all by the split, correct?
No, he's got Derrick Road frontage on the cul-de-sac and on the road itself, and there are some easements down to the lake that people can use, but he won't really need it now, but.
Okay. All right. Any other questions of the applicant by board? Okay. Seeing none, I'll open it up to public comment. If anybody would like to make a public comment on this item. Seeing none, I'll close it and bring it back to the board.
I make a motion that we approve.
Second. We got a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, moving on. Item I, Pleasure Heights Church preliminary large-scale development. Start with a staff report, please.
Vicinity map, site map, neighbor map. The applicant is requesting a preliminary large-scale development to build and operate a 5,000 square foot church building that can accommodate up to 165 people. There will be 77 parking spaces, 4 of which will be ADA accessible and 3 drop-off zones. The church will have a total of 5 staff members. The church pastor is the only paid full-time employee at the church. The 4 board officers are part-time volunteers. Proposed hours of operation are Wednesday and Thursday, 6 to 9 p.m., or Sunday morning from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m., and Sunday evening from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m., along with occasional wedding and funeral events. The 2024 282 Pleasure Heights Church CUP project was approved by the Planning Board on October 31st, 2024, and ratified by the Quorum Court on December 19th, 2024. Final large-scale development approval is required before the project is fully operational. The project is located on the eastern side of Pleasure Heights Road, Washington County 36, approximately 0.05 miles from Abbey Town Road, Washington County 3518. To date, planning staff has not received any complaints.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Any questions of staff from board members? Okay, is applicant or applicant's representative here?
I'm Sarah Gertz with EDA, and the applicants are here if you have any questions. Any questions, we can help you out.
You've seen the final conditions of approval that's proposed. You good with all of those?
Yes.
Okay. Any questions of the board for the applicant? Okay, thank you, ma'am. Appreciate it. Any public comment on this item? Okay, seeing none, I'll close it and bring it back to the board. I'll do it. I hadn't done one tonight. I'm gonna make a motion for the approval of the no, I can't. Okay. You're probably better at parliamentary procedure than I am, but I'll make a motion for approval of this preliminary large-scale development.
Second.
We got a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? You scared me. All right, Sam, what else tonight?
We're still working on that, like, planning code, we're chipping away. So we have another hearing, the second, hearing is gonna be on the 17th of this month, quote unquote, we'll see what happens, we'll keep you posted.
Okay.
Keep chipping, brother, keep chipping.
All right, I appreciate it. If there's no other items, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Second.
We got a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you.